are going to read a funny story. The name of the lesson is The Tiger Gets a Fright. The lesson is from class 4th. And the story is a folk tale. What do you mean by a folk tale, children? As I told you in the previous video, folk tale is nothing but a story passed down from generation to generation orally. And who are the main characters in the story? A tiger, a boy, grandmother, and a thief. And what is the moral of the story? Fear has a large shadow, but he himself is small. Yes, children? We must never fear looking at anything, children. We must face our problems or any dangerous thing with courage. We should never fear. And let's see what are the important words, vital words, important words in this story. So these are the important words. Crawling. What do you mean by crawling, children? Moving quietly. Padded, meaning walked silently. Haunches, meaning upper position of legs and hips. Persimmon, a sweet orange colored fruit. Astonished means shocked. So these are the important words which we come across when we read the story. And what grammatical knowledge we gain from this lesson, children? Articles. Not only in this lesson, in English language, we use these articles everywhere. What are articles? Articles are of two types. Definite article, indefinite article. What is a definite article? The. What is an indefinite article? A, am. So where do we use the article? The is used before the names of oceans, seas. The is used before the names of great epics. The is used before the names of holy books. The is used before the names of musical instruments. And where do we use a and an? Indefinite articles. A is used before vowels. What are vowels, children? A, E, I, O, U. These 5 letters are called vowels. A is used before vowels and an is used before consonants. The remaining 21 consonants, before them, before the words, we use an. Yes, children? Coming back to the lesson, the tiger gets a fright. he wandered into the village at the edge of the forest. As the tiger was passing by a house, he heard a little boy crying. The boy sounded very upset about something. So what happened when the tiger, it didn't find any food in the forest, it went to the village which is near to the forest. And when it was crossing a house, it saw that, it heard that a boy was crying and he was very sad. So what did the tiger do? The tiger went near the window of the house and it is listening to the conversation between the family members. The tiger thought he had finally found food. He slipped in through the gate. He padded into the courtyard quietly and crouched outside the window. So what happened? Listening to the voice of the child, the tiger thought, okay, I will hunt this boy and I will eat him as my food. So what did it do? Quietly it went inside the house. It padded. What do you mean by padded? Moving slowly, walked slowly without making a noise. And it went inside and sat. Crouch means sitting. The sitting position of a tiger. That is called as crouched. So it sat and near the window and it is listening. There he sat silently on his haunches. What do you mean by haunches, children? See here, haunches, upper position of legs and hips. So the tiger sat quietly on its haunches. Okay, sat on its legs and hips. Then, as he was about to spring, as he was about to hunt the boy, what happened? He heard the boy's grandmother talking to him. He said, shh, don't cry so loudly. The nasty striped tiger will come and get you. So what did to stop the boy from crying, what fear the grandmother created in boy? She said, if you go on crying loudly like this, the tiger will come and catch you. So stop crying. Did the boy stop crying, children? No. The nasty striped tiger will come and get you. This surprised the tiger. He thought he had crept in very quietly. Surely no one could have heard him. But it seemed that the boy's grandmother had. So what did the grandmother do? She just told that boy to make him silent, to make him stop crying. She just said that stop crying, otherwise the tiger will come and catch you. But what did the tiger think? The tiger thought that, oh, this grandmother had seen me entering the house. Okay, and it was sitting there quietly near the window. The little boy, however, paid no attention to his grandmother. He continued to weep loudly. So what happened? Did the boy stop crying? No, he was crying louder. And the grandmother said then, now little one, do stop crying. See, I have a dried persimmon here. So what do you mean by persimmon, children? Persimmon, a sweet orange color fruit which is very sweet. So what did the grandmother give to the child? Persimmon, a dried persimmon. So taking that persimmon in the hand, what did the child do? What did the boy do? He stopped crying. The child stopped crying at once. The tiger was so astonished that he stopped mid-spring. So what happened? The It was so afraid. Yet a giant persimmon stopped his crying at once. So this giant persimmon must be something very frightful, reasoned the tiger. I better leave before this dreadful thing catches me, he thought, and he turned around to slip away quietly. So what did he do? He thought that this persimmon must be a terrible animal which is stronger than me. So let me move from here before this terrible animal catches me. So it moved slowly to go out of that house. But before that, what happened? As it was so dark, what happened? Let's see. That very moment, a thief broke into the house. His plan was to steal the cow in the yard. It was a dark night. The thief couldn't see clearly. He just saw the shape of an animal and thought it was the cow. So what happened now? As when the tiger wanted to move slowly from the house, what happened at the time? A thief came into the house. What is the intention of the thief? He wanted to steal. He wanted to take cow from the yard. He wanted to steal the cow. Okay, but as it was very dark, he was not able to see clearly what is there in the yard, and he misunderstood the tiger to a cow. And what did he do? Let's see. He firmly grabbed the tail and pulled it hard. So what did the thief do? He caught hold of the tail and he pulled the animal. But what is there? He thought that it is a cow. But what is there, children? Tiger. The tiger was already worried about the dried persimmon. Now he was sure that this fierce creature had caught hold of his tail. The tiger was so scared that he jumped over the gate and started running towards the forest at full speed, trying to escape the persimmon. So what happened now? What did the thief do? He held the tail of the animal. He thought the animal to be a cow, but it is a tiger. But what did the tiger think? The tiger thought that his tail is pulled by persimmon, which he thought that a dangerous animal than it. So what happened now? The tiger in fear started moving with a great speed. It jumped from the house and it started running in the forest. The thief too was terrified. The thief too was very afraid. Why? When he came out of the house holding the tail of the tiger, because of moonlight, he saw the creature. tail. He ran till he was very far away from the village. Finally, when he was sure that there is no fear and that the fiercely Persimmon could not no longer get him, he stopped. So what happened after running for a long distance? He stopped and he saw that there is nothing behind and he was very relaxed.